everyone! Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this adorable little monkey out of socks. It is super easy and simple, so let's get started. So I'm first going to be taking a white sock and I'm going to be stuffing it with cotton until I form a nice little ball. That's going to be our monkey's head. Then I'm going to be cutting off the excess material. To close off that base, I'm going to be making a running stitch. So I'll insert my needle from the inside of the base and then I'll make another stitch 1 centimeter away from the last stitch. While I'm doing this, I'm going to be slowly tugging onto my string so that the base can gradually close. Once I've done that, I'm going to be inserting my needle into every little wrinkle I see until I make a full circle around the base. Then I'll crisscross the base and close that off with a loop stitch. And that's our monkey's head. So now I'm taking my blue sock and I'm going to be inserting that head into the blue sock. Once I've done that, I'll cut off the excess material. Once again, I'll close the blue sock off with a running stitch. Now I'll be using the other blue sock so that we can make the body. I'll first make a horizontal line across the blue sock so that I can get rid of the heel. Then I'll stuff cotton in so that it's good enough to make a nice little body. And then I'll close that off with a running stitch. Then I'll be making the outline of my face onto the monkey's head. I'll be cutting this out with some tiny little scissors. Then I'm going to stitch the blue sock onto the white by inserting my needle into the white sock and letting it come out of the blue. Make sure you keep holding onto the blue sock so that you don't leave any out. To attach the head to the body, I'm going to be making a ladder stitch. So first I'll make a stitch on the body and then the head. The body, then the head. And I'll keep doing this until I feel like the head and body are very secure. For my monkey's heart, I'm going to be flipping a red sock inside out and tracing a heart onto it. Then I'll be making a back stitch onto the outline of the heart. Once I've done that, I'll cut out the heart. Then I'll make a horizontal cut along the bottom of the heart so I can flip it the right way around. The trick to stuffing in a heart is to stuff in each half of the heart at a time. When you're happy with your heart, you can go ahead and stitch it closed with a mini running stitch. I'll attach the heart onto the body with a ladder stitch. To make the arms, I'm flipping around my leftover blue sock and drawing 2 little circles onto it. Then I'll cut around those circles. I won't stuff this first. I'll first make a running stitch onto the outline of the circles. And then when I get at least halfway around the circle, I'm going to begin stuffing in a little bit of cotton. The trick is to hold the cotton down with your thumb as you stitch. And those are my two hands. Now I'm going to be stitching those hands near the heart so that it looks like the monkey's holding it with a ladder stitch. I'll then cut out my leftover white sock so that it's flat. This will make it easier for me to draw my ears. I'll make 2 semicircles, and then I'll make sure that they're a good size so that they fit onto the blue sock. Then I'll be stitching the white sock onto the blue sock with a back stitch. Keep in mind that your white stitches are going to be showing, so make sure that these stitches are very neat. So I cut around the ears and now I'm ladder stitching it onto my monkey's head. For the tail, I'll be using more of my leftover blue sock, and I'll flip it around and draw my tail onto it. Then I'll be back stitching the outline of the tail. Once I've done that, I'll cut around it and make a slit on the bottom so I can flip it around. Flipping around the tail is pretty tricky, but you'll get there. The trick to stuff in the tail is to use the bottom of a pencil. Then I'll close off the tail and begin ladder stitching it onto my monkey. Now I'm going to be marking my eyes farther than I want them to because they'll be getting closer to each other as I stitch them on. Then, with my bead tied onto one end of my string, I'll insert my needle into one dot so that it comes out of the other. Then I'll insert my bead into the other end of the string and loop my string into the other bead and pass the string onto the other side. Then I'll exit the needle through the back of the monkey's head. Now I'm going to be marking my nose. I'll first make a nice little stitch, a vertical stitch, and I'll allow the needle to come out diagonally. Then I'll just keep passing my needle on horizontally until I feel like my nose is a suitable thickness. Just like the eyes, I'll exit the needle through the back of the head. Now I'm tracing my smile onto the monkey. I'll be inserting my needle from the back of the monkey's ear, and then I'll make a back stitch onto the monkey's mouth. Once I've finished, I'll exit the needle through the back of the monkey's head. To make the tongue, I'm going to be using some red foam paper. I'll be gluing this onto my monkey's face with some all-purpose glue. To cover up the stitches between my monkey's head and body, I decided to use the band of my leftover socks and put them around my monkey's neck and my monkey's head. And there's our finished monkey. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. In case you didn't know already, all toys that I'll be making are going to be donated to children in need. The reason I'm doing this is because I feel that it's very important to attend to the mental health of children all over the world. I'm also urging everyone to donate to children in Lebanon through Save the Children. Lebanon had already been experiencing an economic crisis with COVID-19, but now with the explosion, so many families and children have been displaced and now they need our help more than ever. So, with your donation, you can help children get access to the resources that they need while they are not with their families. So, it'll really mean a lot to them. That's all from me. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day.